1937 is when it was built, and so it's gone through a few different ownerships, and now it's the property of Horizon Montessori Public Schools. It started last year, and it started as a pre-K 3 to 4th grade campus, and it started with a whole 5 teachers and 90 students. And so I joined this year, July the 20th, and we've grown from 90 to 200 students now. We celebrated having 200 students, and now we offer pre-K 3 all the way to 8th grade. And it's a wonderful opportunity because schools, it's the community, it's, you know, the schools are part of the community, belong to the community, and we're working together to build the best programs possible for the needs of the students within the community. You know, I truly appreciate the district allowing me the opportunity to work with the families and all the stakeholders to build the best possible school. Sometimes, you know, it's pretty tough because as the principal, your parents are here, you're here, and the district's here. And if the districts just say, this is the way you're running, and it's not accommodating the family's needs, it becomes a difficult situation, you know, because as the principal, you're hearing feedback from the families, and then you're communicating to the district. But if the district doesn't accommodate, as a principal also, you can't just say, well, the district said this. So it ends up putting you in a compromising position. Fortunately, we don't have that here, and we've been building an excellent school together with the families. We started this interesting year, right? No one knew what we were going to face with COVID-19. We began offering in-person classes for families because there were quite a few that needed their children to be in person. And we offer that from 7:30 until noon. And we were offering online, live online classes for the students and their families who still didn't feel safe. And that worked out very, very well. Now, you know, we moved to full day in person. So last week was the first week that was full day in person. We go from 7:30 all the way until dismissal ends at 2:25. And after that, Monday through Thursday, the teachers go live online. They get a nice break. They have one conference period and another break to prepare to switch over live instruction online from 3:15 until 4. So they get enough time with the families. And there are a few families who aren't able to join those live sessions because of their schedule. So the live sessions online are recorded and uploaded into the Google Classroom so they can, you know, take the lesson, receive the lesson, and complete the assignments as they need. So that right there is accommodating 3 major needs by families that need it in person, live online, the asynchronous model, and also, you know, for those who need just the videos because they get home too late or their daycares aren't able to provide the support, along with enhanced educational videos and assignments in the Google Classroom. So it's worked out great. I mean, I hope I'm not jinxing it, but after 14 weeks, we haven't had any incident of COVID cases yet from staff members or from the students. And so it's been a wonderful experience so far after 14 years. I moved here from San Antonio. I lived there 14 years, and I'm proud to say I'm part of our community now. I really love this area, and I do plan on staying here. So a little bit about myself. Some people think I look young. I think I fool people. I look younger than I am. I'm 44, and I've been in education for 20 years. And so this is my 5th year as a principal. I was a principal of a large school that was pre-K through 12 in San Antonio. It had over 1,100 students, over 130 staff members. And it was an excellent experience. This is my 1st year here, my 5th year as a principal. I've gone through you know, no shortcuts. I began as an instructional aide. I was going to college, and I graduated from UCLA. While I was in college, I was an instructional aide at an elementary school. Then I became a teacher, a mentor, a coach, a district level coach, a dean, and now finally received this opportunity to see if I could be a good principal. You know, I always wanted to try it out, and if it didn't work out, I was just gonna be glad to go back to the classroom. I was a master teacher when I left. So that's a little bit about myself. I think that experience has prepared me well because I know how to support all the different levels and what is needed. But now let me try to share my screen if I'm allowed to for the presentation about our district and our school. Here we go. All right, I think it's working. Okay, here it is. Just a second, created this simple presentation to speak more coherently about our school. Okay, so we are Horizon Montessori Public Schools. It was open in 1998, so it's been open for 22 years. Horizon Montessori Public Schools has 4 little schools. We will be the largest school. We have one in Weslaco, one in Harlingen, and one in McAllen. Those campuses, I think the capacity is no more than 400 students. The one here, Horizon Montessori 4, Pearland, has the capacity for 800 students. And so this is our second year, as I mentioned. And Horizon Montessori Pearland, this was the slide about myself. And as I said, 20th year in education, graduated with a bachelor in English from the University of California at Los Angeles. Then I moved on to San Antonio, moved there with my family. And while I was there, I earned my master's from UTSA. And 2 years ago, I believe, I received my superintendent certificate also from UTSA. And anyone who knows a good doctoral program here in the area, please let me know because I'm planning on joining that for next year. I might postpone it 1 year, maybe my 50th year of being alive. I'll be celebrating as Dr. Gomez. So just let me know who knows an excellent doctoral program here. And it's been I have friends who I say informally adopted me in college. Indian, their families are from India, and they, you know, they're in hotel motel business, and they asked me, why are you getting into teaching, Hector? How are you going to support your family? But you know what? It's been a beautiful, beautiful experience. I wouldn't change it for anything else. It's been amazing how much has been done for communities in 20 years. So here, the vision statement for Horizon Montessori Public Schools, the short and sweet one is that we're creating tomorrow's education today. And for our school, we're building tomorrow's school together today. That's what we're doing here at Horizon Montessori Maryland. So what do we believe in? Mission possible, everybody can learn. School, homes, and communities working together. And education through the latest technology. Just recently here, our campus was set up to have a fiber, you know, so our internet and our students can access everything they need, all the educational resources that are online. Now, feel free to jump in and ask me questions as I'm presenting. The mission statement of the name is South Texas Educational Technologies. You know, we are a public school district. And so you have to do business as a nonprofit when you open up a charter. Well, there's different ways, but that's the way our charter does it. And the name for it is South Texas Educational Technologies. And it's essentially to provide the highest quality education to all students and to acknowledge other individualities, their multiple intelligences, and allow them to reach their fullest potential. Montessori philosophy. So what is Montessori? You know, it was founded by Maria Montessori, and the influence of Montessori-based education respects the uniqueness of every person and preserves in nature's just the innate capacities of every individual, and to respect that and to learn in a peaceful, loving, caring, nurturing environment where they explore and learn and derive knowledge from their exploration and their collaboration with their peers as it's facilitated by the adults in their lives, and most the one who's with them the most, of course, being the teacher. And it says right here, learning by doing. Lecture based, it's not what we follow. And we are, of course, Horizon Montessori Pearland. And this is my, this is so calming to me. If you come, you stand right here at this corner. The tree line in the architecture of the school, this is building 5. We just started construction there. It has the beautiful amphitheater, the auditorium from the 30s. It looks amazing. This view is just my favorite by far, so you'll see it quite a bit. I don't know why it has this calming presence. Campus demographics. We believe in diversity. We are a public school, and so whoever we work with the families, and we enroll just as any public school. The only difference is that we don't have boundary lines. If the charter, when you apply for a charter, you list all the zip codes around there. They're all welcome to apply for the school, as long as our charter doesn't have transportation yet. So as long as they're able to bring their children to the school, then we work with them. So we're a pre-K3 to 8th grade campus, 200 total students at this time. The demographics, 39% Hispanic, 22% white, African-American 19%, Asian 14%, and multiracial is at 7%. And so our families are truly diverse. This is my first experience with this much diversity. I've read about it, I've seen it on TV, but I'm experiencing right now, and I'm loving it. And our staff is representative also of the demographics from our student population. Free tuition, right? That's big, key component. So as you know, Montessori schools, I believe we're the only one that's public in this area. Montessori schools are private schools. And I wanted to speak to you about, is it free tuition? Yes, all public schools receive state and federal funding for kinder through high school. And so we're no different. The difference is pre-K3 and pre-K4. Families have to meet a criteria, not our criteria, but the state and the federal government's criteria to qualify for tuition free. The 3 main ones are language. If their native language is other than English, they do qualify. If their parents have been in the military, they do qualify. And also for social economic reasons. Those are the top 3. And we're pre-K through 8th campus, and we will have an online high school in the future. It'll be a rigorous advanced program, and students will be able to graduate with their high school diploma and their associates in whichever area they choose to within those 4 years. Of course, in order to qualify for those online classes that we're going to be partnering with the local colleges, they have to meet the criteria, the Texas Success Initiative. It's a TSI test. They have to take it and have passed with a certain score, and then they're able to take classes with the colleges, the community colleges, or the traditional colleges. Pre-K3 and pre-K4 tuition. If you don't qualify for tuition, well, I have great news for pre-K3 and pre-K4. Pre-K3 is only $3,000 for the whole year. You do the math on that one. I know we're a very savvy group here. And pre-K4, pre-K3 is less because it's AM, PM. So they are here 3 hours, either in the AM or the PM. Pre-K4 students pay a whopping $4,500 for the whole year. So as you can see, it's very reasonable what is being charged as tuition for the students who don't qualify. Most of them have been able to qualify. If they've been in the foster care system, of course, they also qualify for tuition. We're working with the families. We started an after-school care program because the parents were expressing that need. And it's pretty neat. It boils down to about $20 per day. The pre-K3 students, though, who come in the morning, if they have older siblings, Well, what are you going to do as a parent? Do you come pick them up and then come pick up the other one at 2 o'clock? It becomes a challenge. And so we opened it up to pre-K3 students. They're there from 11:15 all the way until 5:30 for the same cost. We don't charge additional costs to the families. And the pre-K 4 to 8th grade students, they are in pre-K in after school now from 2:30 until 5:30, and it's about 20 per day. However, we're not like daycares. I know when my son was in daycare, they'll charge you the whole month, whether you were there the full month or not. We only charge for the days when the students are on when the school is open. And so some days some months it's less than others. So if you do the math, I think the highest month is 400. In additional siblings, they only pay an extra $100 per sibling. If you do the math on how much they stand to pay for pre-K3 tuition and 4 plus after school care, it still ends up being very, very reasonable, for the families. Ultimately, I opened up this program with the support from the district. The main goal was to provide the service to the families. I know it's tough, for families to rush to pick up their children at 2:30 or at 3 or at 4. And so I just wanted this to take care of that need. And yes, at the very least, we have to generate enough funds to pay for the staff that we hire to run the program. So who are we? We're a highly qualified staff. I mentioned mine, and the teachers, they all have degrees, they have certifications, they receive professional development support from the district and the regional centers. They do receive professional support also from the district curriculum team and on-site coaching from a mentor and from myself as well. This may or may not be the case for other for daycares and for other institutions here locally. You hear different things about charters, but our charter does have highly qualified staff. Employment opportunities. So far, we have 25 employees, which is much more than the 10 they had last year, more than doubled. And if you do the projection, we're at a quarter capacity right now out of 800. So the simple math there is 25 times 4. We will have about 100 employees at one point within the next 3 years. And here are the positions: administrative positions, clerical, parent liaison, custodial, maintenance, teaching, support staff, instructional aid, after school care, and non-instructional aides. Educational programs. Well, if you're familiar with the public schools, it's essentially the same programs that we provide, only that we're providing this education through the Montessori method. So what are the programs? We offer National Juniors Honors, advanced placement, credit by examination, pre-AP classes, high school credits in 8th grade. This year it's Algebra 1 and Computer Science. Next year it will be Spanish and Art 1. So what does that mean? The 8th graders will graduate. They will not graduate, but they'll move on to high school with 4 high school credits. And so in their senior year, they only have 4 requirements. And then the second part of it, they can take college credit courses instead of just going home early. And so that's a huge benefit to the families. The high school program we are going to begin is going to give the parents an opportunity to have their child graduate high school with at least 32 college credits. My daughter benefited from a program that's similar to this, and she's at UT Austin, and she doesn't have to do the full 4 years. It helps her move on, and also as a parent, it helps you with how much you have to pay for college. It's not very cheap right now, right? But we all do it because it's important for our children's future. Which other educational programs we have? Gifted and talented. We have ESL for the English language learners. We have support for them. Special education services and response to intervention, which is a program that's used for students who have fallen behind for different reasons. The teachers are trained to provide that support. And that's my timer of the 15 minutes. Let's see how well I did. That's the end of the presentation. So now I'll open it up for questions.
Hey Hector, this is Ann. So a couple of questions I have for you as far as, um, and that's just of my own not knowing, the structure of the school. It's a public school, but you don't report. There's no dotted line to Pearland ISD, correct? It's strictly to your Horizon. And do you still comply with the Texas Education Agency and regulations from that perspective?
They're gonna think we rehearsed this, but thank you, and that's a good question. We are our own district. When you apply for a public charter, you become your own district. And no, we're our own district. We're not part of Pearland ISD. And yes, charters, when you apply for this type of charter, we do comply with the Texas Education Agency guidelines, such as any other public educational institution. Also, we have to abide by state and federal law. And also, we have local policies that the district board adopts based on state and federal law. And yes, it's no different than the public school systems, and we are our own district.
And then you mentioned about the high school as is in your long-term planning. Do you have the space at the current facility to add the high school grades, or is that something that you got a different plan for that when that comes around?
Thank you very much. It's going to be an online high school. The main office right now is Building 6. Building 6 will have a testing center for all the testing needs for the high school students, such as SAT, PSAT, ACT, TSI. So it'll be all 100% online.
Okay. And then one last question I have until that time comes up, as far as I'm not sure how many kids you have. Are you fully through eighth grade right now, or you're adding a grade as you go, or what classes do you have right now?
We have students enrolled in pre-K 3 to 7th grade right now.
Okay.
We started with one eighth grader, but the family moved out of the area. So right now we are pre-K 3 to 8th grade. We do have students in pre-K 3 to 7th grade at this.
And so are you recommending when since you don't have the high school set up quite yet, for those kids that will start leaving after eighth grade, are you recommending they go to another charter school for high school, or do they feed into the public school systems around here? What are you recommending for your students that have experienced this education?
Of course, just as any other district, you would want your students to continue in your own district. So we would hope that they would transition over to the online high school. However, ultimately, you're asking me my personal opinion as a person, as a father, as an educator. We ultimately want what's best for the students. And so I will become familiar with all the different opportunities. If we don't have that online high school ready for next year, I will simply educate our families with the different options that are available in the Pearland community and the surrounding community, and then they can make a well-informed decision. Because ultimately, we want to do what's best for our children, so that way when they grow up and they graduate, they have many opportunities to have a meaningful and successful life.
Okay, thank you, Hector. I don't want to take up the time. Does anyone else have any questions for Hector?
I do. For those students in P3 and 4, do they have a payment plan for those parents to pay those fees?
Yes, thank you for the question. We break it down quarterly.
Mm.
So we remind them, quarterly that the tuition is due. And yes, that's what we have going on. We work with specific situations individually, but for everyone, it's that way. We break it down into 4 payments to make it a little bit more convenient, if that's the word for them. Thank you for the question.
That brings up another question. So are you operating year round, 12 months out of the year for the kids in school, or is there a summer break or a fall break or anything like that?
It's a good question. It's the same as a public school system. We operate as 10 months, right? We started August 10th, And I believe the end of May is when we finish. However, following Texas education guidelines, this year has been waived. Fifth and eighth grade and high school, fifth and eighth grade for sure. Those are for promotion. They have to meet certain passing requirements. In fifth grade, it's reading and math, and it's the same for eighth grade. And for students who do not pass the STAR, the state assessment, then we have to offer summer school. And also for the high school students, if we had high schools, a high school, then that would be also a requirement to hold summer session. Then there's also students who may have, for whatever reason, that met the 90% minimum attendance requirement. And so that needs to be made available. And so we will have, based on whatever the TA guidelines are for this year, we will be following their guidance. And if we have to hold summer school, we will hold it. Someone had a conversation with me today also about the after school care program. Are we continuing that throughout the summer? Because, families, they still continue to work. And I thought, thank you for bringing that up, because I'm going to be here. I only get 2 weeks off. So we're going to be here. So I thought, that's a good idea. Maybe we should continue the care program for the families who have it difficult, during the summer.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Hector. It was very enlightening. Thank you for that preview and view of the school and what you're doing there. It's great to have you in the community. So thank you for doing what you do.
You're
At this
welcome.